They thought it was just another ordinary day. A mother was walking down the street with her young son, enjoying a quiet afternoon, when suddenly strangers approached her, their intentions clear and threatening. Her son froze, his small hand clutching hers, eyes wide with fear. But what they didn't know, and what would change everything in an instant, was that this woman was no ordinary mother. She was a Navy SEAL, trained for moments just like this. Every movement, every glance, carried the discipline and skills forged through years of intense training. As the aggressors closed in, ready to cause harm, she remained calm, her mind racing through options, instincts kicking in faster than anyone could imagine. Her son watched, terrified but unaware that his mother was about to turn a frightening situation on its head. The streets seemed to hold their breath as tension mounted, every second stretching longer than the last. What would happen next? Would she be able to protect herself and her son before things escalated? This story isn't just about courage, it's about survival, quick thinking, and the hidden strength of a mother who can face danger head-on. And just when it seems like the worst is about to unfold, the scene takes a shocking turn that no one could have predicted. Before that moment on the street, no one would have guessed her past. To the world, she was just a devoted mother, always smiling, helping neighbors, and juggling the chaos of daily life with grace. But behind closed doors, she carried stories few could imagine: years of grueling Navy SEAL training, missions that demanded split-second decisions, and a resilience built through experiences most people only see in movies. It wasn't something she ever boasted about. She had chosen a quiet life for her son, wanting him to grow up with normal routines, playgrounds, and bedtime stories, far away from the danger and violence that once defined her days. Her son tugged at her hand now, sensing the tension, not fully understanding why these strangers seemed so different, so threatening. Each step they took closer made her pulse steady but sharp, instincts flaring in ways only a trained operative could recognize. She knew patterns, threats, and the psychology of confrontation, but showing that side of herself meant revealing a world she had carefully kept hidden. The aggressors didn't know who they were dealing with. They assumed fear, weakness, and hesitation. But one wrong move, one glance, and the truth would strike, and it would be unforgettable. And yet, before anything could unfold fully, a sudden distraction from the crowd shifted the balance in a way no one expected. The sudden distraction didn't give her much time, but it gave her just enough. Her eyes flicked to a man nearby, clearly startled by something in his phone, and for a moment, the aggressor's focus wavered. She tightened her grip on her son's hand, her mind calculating every possible move. She could feel the tension radiating off the stranger's anger, mixed with confusion, but she also noticed something else: hesitation. Maybe they sensed she wasn't just another civilian. Meanwhile, her son's small voice whispered, "Mom, what's happening?" Her heart ached, but she forced a calm tone. "Nothing we can't handle, buddy. Just stay close to me." She could see the fear in his eyes, and it strengthened her resolve. Every muscle in her body was alert, every instinct on high. She thought about the training that had pushed her beyond limits, the missions that required split-second judgment, and the sacrifices she had made to live a life that was supposed to be safe for her family. From another angle, a bystander began filming the scene, their phone capturing the tension building on the street. The aggressors glanced nervously around, unsure if they were being watched, while she weighed her options. Confrontation was inevitable, but so was the possibility of escape. Every second stretched, every heartbeat felt louder, and the city around them seemed to hold its breath. Then, just as she prepared to act, a sound unexpected and jarring shifted the dynamic entirely, leaving everyone frozen in suspense. The sudden sound froze everyone in place: a screech of tires, a shout from across the street, a moment that stretched impossibly long. Her son clung tighter to her hand, sensing the danger but still too young to understand the full scale of what was happening. She felt her pulse sharpen, every nerve alert. The aggressors' eyes darted, their confidence cracking as they realized the situation was no longer in their control. She subtly shifted her stance, positioning herself between her son and the threat, muscles coiled like a spring ready to release. Her mind raced through scenarios, weighing every possibility: fight, flight, distraction. Years of Navy SEAL training had taught her to anticipate, to exploit hesitation, to stay calm under pressure, and now all of that knowledge mattered more than ever. From another angle, the bystanders were frozen too, some moving closer with phones raised, some backing away, unsure what would happen next. The street had become a tense arena of uncertainty. She could see the aggressors debating their next move, their aggression giving way to a flicker of fear. Every heartbeat echoed in her ears, every second stretching longer than it should. She glanced at her son, forcing a reassuring smile that didn't reach her eyes. She knew the moment to act was coming, but so was the danger. And then, in a blink, the aggressors made a move, one that would change everything in an instant. Just as she braced for the first move, something unexpected happened. One of the aggressors pulled out a phone and started speaking rapidly, glancing nervously at the others. Her instincts screamed that this wasn't just a random attack. There was a plan, a connection she hadn't anticipated. The street, already tense, seemed to constrict around them as the realization hit. This confrontation wasn't personal. It was orchestrated. Her son's eyes widened, sensing the heightened danger, and she pulled him closer, whispering, "Stay behind me, okay?" The aggressor's gestures became more frantic, their confidence crumbling further. But there was a cold precision to their panic. She noticed subtle cues, their stances, the quick glances, the way one of them kept checking a car parked a block away. This wasn't just about intimidation anymore. It was about control. Suddenly a figure appeared at the corner, watching intently, almost blending with the crowd. She couldn't tell if it was an ally or another threat, but her instincts kicked in. Every training drill, every high-stakes mission flashed through her mind. She had faced ambushes before, but never with her son this close, never in a place where the innocent could be caught in the crossfire. The aggressor's next move was about to escalate the danger beyond anything she had anticipated, and she knew that when it happened, nothing would stay the same. The moment was approaching, and the tension was unbearable. In a heartbeat, the tension exploded. The aggressors lunged forward, but she was faster, every movement precise, every decision instinctive. She intercepted them, her training as a Navy SEAL turning what could have been a disaster into controlled chaos. Her son stayed close, watching in awe as his mother's calm decisiveness turned fear into action. Within seconds, the attackers were disarmed, their attempts to intimidate shattered by her skill and presence of mind. The figure at the corner suddenly stepped forward, revealing themselves as a plainclothes officer who had been tracking the group for weeks. The attackers weren't random, they were part of a larger network, and her encounter had just exposed their operation. Relief flooded her for a moment, but it was quickly replaced by the realization that the danger was far from over. She had protected her son and neutralized the immediate threat. But the larger world of threats, she thought, she had left behind was closing in fast. Just as she pulled her son into a tight embrace, the phone of one of the aggressors buzzed, and a chilling message appeared. Asterisk, you only think it's over. We're coming for you. Her heart sank, the adrenaline mixing with the knowledge that the fight wasn't finished. The street was quiet now, but the storm was just beginning, and she knew that surviving today was only the start of what lay ahead. The street slowly returned to normal, the crowd dispersing, whispers of what had just happened floating in the air. She held her son tightly, feeling the steady rhythm of his heartbeat against hers, a reminder of why she had chosen this path of courage and discipline. The plainclothes officers stayed close, ensuring the attackers were taken into custody. While she finally allowed herself a moment to breathe, her son looked up, eyes wide but filled with trust, and asked, "Mom, will they come back?" She smiled, brushing a strand of hair from his face. "We handled today, and whatever comes next, we'll face it together." In that moment, she realized that her training, her past missions, and every sacrifice she had made weren't just about survival, they were about protecting the ones she loved, and showing her son the strength that comes from courage and presence of mind. As she walked home, hand in hand with her son, she felt a quiet confidence. The danger wasn't gone forever, but today had proven that no threat could break her resolve. Life would always have challenges, but her story was a reminder that courage, quick thinking, and love could turn the tide, even in the face of fear. And in that city street, a mother's strength had left a mark no one would forget.